SQL setup ready and how many don't have? If you have it, it's just ping me ready, otherwise ping me not ready. Okay, Subhash has it with it. Subhash has Arjan, Sunil, exam. Okay, Sunil, so are you okay with the exam? Because I am not have much knowledge on it. Okay, Mohan is setting now. Who is not ready? Okay, PK not ready. Let me note down the names. Because, you have to be ready for the Monday test. Okay, let me note down the names. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, let me check who all are ready. Alain, Barsha, Arjan, Subhash, Alain, Barsha. As the class is online, it's really difficult for me to closely monitor each and every student. Subhash. If I miss someone's name, please let me know. Arjan. And Mohan is setting it. Mohan. PK. Rajwan, you did it or somebody helped you?
Ellen, Barsha, and Sanjeev
Great.
helped. Yeah.
Great, nice. So it is working, right? Anyhow, we'll check.
Yep.
Yeah, we are recording. We are recording the class. Why you cannot share? Okay. Okay. She's saying that she cannot share it. Okay, no problem. In your downloads folder. Okay, fine. In your downloads folder, the MySQL connector jar is downloaded. Can you please extract it? Unzip it. Right click, unzip, and give some file name. It will be unzip. And just let me know once it is unzipped. Okay, now you do one thing. This jar, let me share my screen. Can you please stop sharing? Okay, I'm just sharing my content. Let me just. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Okay, so after downloading, I have told her to extract it. And let me click on Cubic. This is where I have saved my jar. So can you see this one? So Sarita, you got the same things when you unzipped your folder, downloaded folder. When you unzipped your MySQL connector, you got the same files. Yeah. Okay. So you have to add this jar to your project. How to add? You can see my Eclipse, right? For example, this is my project. Let me close everything. This is my project. From this project, I want to connect with the database. So I need this jar. So I will just right click, properties. Then I will click on Java build path. Not only this jar, you can add any jar to the build path only. You have to add the jar to the build path. So can you see this one? It is already added. Okay, let me just remove it. Now let me just add it again. I will just click external jars because that jar is located in some other folder. It's not inside this Eclipse. It's in some other folder. So when I click on add external jars, I have to go to the respective folder. My jar is located in C drive. My jar is located in C drive, Cubic 2020 batch, and you can see this folder and here. So I click on open, the jar gets automatically added here. And I simply click on apply and close. So now my project have jar with it. You want me to show it again or that's fine? And you can see it here also. You can see the respective things. If you expand each and everything, see in reference libraries, it is getting popped up. You can see the MySQL connector jar. Okay, for adding the jar, let me add to another project. Let me add file path. See, you can see it. You can save it anywhere. I have saved it inside 2020 batch because this is where I have all my files. You can save that file anywhere, but remember where you saved it. If you saved in some other drive and if you start searching in C drive, you will not be able to find it. First thing is that first step, download it from the internet. Second, unzip it. Third, keep it at the respective location. Fourth, add it to your project. Okay, let me add it to my first project. Right click, properties, then build path. In build path, again libraries. There are multiple tabs available. You have to go to the libraries, add external jars, and browse the path. It's in C drive. C drive, Cubic 2020 batch, MySQL, and the jar. And I will click on apply and close. Done. So this is how we add the jar. Okay. Do you have to do in every project? Somebody, Sunil is asking me, do we have to do this in every project? So anyone has any answers for this? It depends on your requirement. It's not mandatory. We were working on so many projects till now. Did we added it earlier? No, right? We did not added it. If you want to connect with database, then you need this jar. If you don't add this jar, you will get errors. What is the jar? It supports some list of files which are needed for connecting with the database. Okay, and properties, simple. Right click, properties. That's it. Right click on your project and you will click on the properties. Then here you have to go to the build path. Otherwise, let me just write down the steps here. MySQL connector jar helps your Java web application to connect with the database. It provides necessary files. So the steps are download MySQL connector jar. Then unzip it, save it in any one folder, add this jar to your project. And how to add it? Simple. Right click on the project, then properties, then build path, then library. Here you add external jars, browse the path, add the jar, then apply and close. So is it clear? I think this is very clear. Okay, so these are the steps you have to follow. So now it is ready. Let me open my MySQL workbench. Let me share it. Okay, I will close it and I'll open it again for you. Whoever have this MySQL installed already or whoever does not have it, just follow the steps, you'll be able to do it. Okay, so you can see these folders, right? My screen you can see. Okay, I'm just opening my MySQL workbench. Let me double click and let me click on program files and let me click on MySQL. Here again MySQL workbench and we have to search for the chart.
Sarika, I can't see.
That's what I was asking everyone. I thought I was that everyone was able to see. Now you can see, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just opening my MySQL workbench. It is present in C drive program files. I double click on MySQL and MySQL workbench and let me click on the shark like symbol. I have to open it. This one. I have to open this one. Double click. First, I'm explaining you a little bit about the database. Then we will work on the program. You can see this page, right? Can you see my connections? How many connections I have?
2.
Okay. So let me select one. This is my connection name. Cubic new or cubic. I have two connections. They have the respective connection names, username. And when you click on it, it will ask you the password. Double click on it and see it's asking me password to making the connection successful. This is like logging into the database. I'm going to see the tables, do some operations with the tables. Okay. My connection is open. Can you see? My connection is open and these are the list of databases available. This is the refresh icon. I think you cannot see my screen. I think you can see, right? Can you see my MySQL workbench?
Yes.
Editor, schemas, everything. Okay. Now please focus. Who is seeing? Who is there anyone from this meeting who is seeing this screen for the first time? MySQL workbench. Is there anyone totally new to the MySQL workbench? Oh, I think nobody is new. Okay, except Anup, everybody is comfortable. Okay. Prashant Rai I'm going to call you PR now onwards, okay? Because your name is too long and we have two Prashants available. Prashant Paudel is PP and you are PR, okay? Okay. So PR and Anup, it's okay. That's very simple. If you do it 2 times now, it's really simple. Even the queries, they are very much straightforward. This is how my MySQL workbench looks like, and just like Eclipse, it has multiple sections. See, this section is for the schemas. This is for the editor. This is where I write the queries and I give some queries, perform some operations. Based on my queries, I will get the output. And what is this section? This section is for giving you the information. For example, I am writing one query here. Shall I execute this query? Just like that, I want to show you something. So for executing the query, you have to select it. You have to click on this, execute the selected portion of the query. I have to click on this one. Let me execute it. Here I go. This is my output. And this is the status of the query. Following, right? So when I selected and executed one query, I got the result. Also, I got the status. This is showing green color tick mark. That means your query is correct. There are no errors and it got executed properly. Which screen is frozen? Okay. So now my question, I have so many queries available. I can write hundreds of queries. For each and every query, Will I get this result? Yes or no? For each and every query, I get the results? Obviously, no. You will get the result when only you want to see the result. For example, this is my insert query. What do you mean by, what do you understand by insert query? What do you understand by inserting? Yeah, inserting means we are actually adding some elements to the table. If I say just add these things, it will be added. It will not be displayed to you, right? If you say show it to me, then only the values will be displayed to you, right? So when you run when you run the insert query, your data will be added to the table, but it will not be displayed to you. Same with the update also. If you do update now, it will be updated at the database end. You can see the result only with the select query, because select is something which shows you the database data. Is that clear? These are all the important 4 operations with the database. We have so many things. We have joins, we have keys, but at this point of time, you become comfortable with the basic queries, then you will understand the flow. Okay? Are you following? Okay, let me just. There are multiple things to remember here. What is the query for creating the database? Yesterday I told you. I have already some databases available here, but I want to create one more database. So the query is, can you see my paint screen? Let me share it. Okay, I have a question now. Why do we need the queries in MySQL? Anyone has any answers? Why we need queries?
Create database again.
You can see my paint screen, right? Okay. Because we perform so many operations with the database. You have to query the data, you have to do whatever you want to do. You want to either insert or add, you want to add data or remove data or update data or delete data. You need queries, right? You need some language to talk with the database, which helps you to fetch the data. So we need the queries to perform some operations on data. To perform operations on data, which is present in the database. Okay. So if I want to create the database, how to create a database? How to create a database? What is the syntax? What is the query for it? Create database, then database name. This is the syntax, yes or no? This is the syntax, and let me write some example. Example is create database. Tell me some database name. Batch3 database. So my database name is Batch3 database. Okay. Now, is it a database or table? It's a database, not a table. What's the difference between table and database? This is the syntax, and this is the example. Now, what's the difference between a table and database? The difference is a database can contain any number of tables. Okay, so let me create this database inside my workbench. Okay, so this is my workbench. Now I want to create a database. So Jeevan, are you there? Can you tell me the syntax for creating the database? I want to create a database with name batch3 database. Just tell me the syntax. Jeevan? Okay, Mohan, can you tell me? Mohan or PK, how to create the database? Okay, I'll give you a hint. I'll show you the syntax. See, this is what I have to write, right? If I want to create the simple, it's very simple. You don't need to do anything. You simply write. It's very straightforward. Create database. Yeah, name can be anything. My database name is bash 3 database. So if I execute this query, database will be created or not? Yes or no? PK, may I know why no? PK, why you said no? Why you said no? Of course, the database will be created because we are creating the database. If you create the database, database will be created. Very simple. There is nothing wrong with this query. If I remove the semicolon, it will not be created because it will give me an error. Okay. So let me run this. I am selecting it and this is my icon. This executes my query. Let me just click on it. So if I execute this query, I will get the results here or not. Now tell me PK. I will get the results here or not? Yes or no? I'm asking answer from PK. I will not get any results because I am not asking the database to give me any result. I am just asking it, okay, database, please create a database for me. So it will simply do this task with me. Okay. Okay, let me just run it. And now let me just refresh it. How many databases are available? 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And batch 3 database is not available, but after executing this query, batch 3 database will be here. You will be able to see that. Let me execute this query. What I am doing here, Anup, what I am doing here, what I am going to do? Yeah, I am just creating a database. Let me run it. See the status. Create database. One row got affected and it is showing green icon because your query got executed successfully. I cannot see the database here. Let me refresh it. See, can you see the batch3 database? My database
Yes.
created successfully. I successfully created the database. Now I want to create a table. Okay, let me go query by query. First one is how to create a database. Second one, creating table. You just tell me one table name. Okay, student, fine, I am fine with it. Let me create a table with name students. Can you see my paint screen? Okay, you don't need to worry about these queries. You will get lot of queries from Google. Okay, so how to create a table? Again, we will have syntax. The syntax is create table, table name, and bracket starts. Inside the brackets, you have to give the column names and column 1, data type, comma, column 2 data type, etc. Last one will not have the comma because this is the last one and it is going to end. So this is the syntax for creating a table. Okay. So let me write it now. How can I write it? So let me write here. So what should be the table name? What should be the table name? Password set student. So let me create a table with name student. Create table. Table name is student. and the bracket starts. Tell me some fields which are applicable for the student. Student will have student name, right? Okay, student will have the student name. So student name is of which type? It is of string type. For string, we use varchar. In database, it will have some size. Just don't worry about it. Varchar represent the string type of data. And student will have ID, student ID, which is of type integer. So we give int, and do we need to add any other value? Student name, student ID. Okay, student age. Again, it is int. Last one will not have comma. Okay. So now I'm going to execute it here. Okay. So let me write create table, and the table name is student, bracket starts. Here I have to write the column names and the respective data type. Student name, you can give underscore, it's absolutely fine. Whoever feels this tough, is it tough? Anup, Jonathan, and Ben, is it tough? Please don't say me it's tough, please. It's not, it's very easy. You just copy it, you don't need to remember anything also. You just copy it and everything is very clear and very straightforward. By looking at it, you will understand because these are the very basic things. So shall I execute this? What happens when I execute this query? I want to ask this question to Jonathan. Jonathan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happens when I execute this query? Selected query.
Not too sure, sorry. I'm sorry.
You don't understand anything? I cannot hear you. Can you hear me, Jonathan?
Yes, Sarika.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do here? Just look at it and you will be able to tell me the answer.
It looks like you're trying to create a table.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm just creating a table. Okay. Okay. So here I'm creating a table, but I have so many databases available. To which database I want to create the table? So that database name I have to mention. I can do two things. Either I can mention this one, database name, table name, or else I can give something like this, use this database name. So this database will be under action. Whatever operations we perform, they will be done for this database. I can give use database, then execute this query. Or instead of use database, I can give the database name directly and the table name. Is that clear with you? Both are good. So which one you want to do? Let's follow the database name dot table name every time. It will be very clear. Each time when you give a table, give the full name of the table, including the database. So there will not be any confusion. Okay. So let me write it here also here. The database name is database name dot table name. Database name dot table name. Or you can give directly use database name. Okay, let me run it. Let's see whether I'll be able to successfully create the table or not. I have run it. I got the green tick, so nothing is wrong with my query. Again, I am going to refresh here. Now my database is batch3 database. Let me expand it and let me expand the tables. See, my table got created. Is it clear? We created the database. We created a table. What's the next step? I created a database. Perfect. I created a table. Okay, nice. What's the next step? I want to insert some data to my table. And now this table contains anything? How can I check whether this table has some data or not? Is there any query for that? Using select query, we can check whether we have any data or not. Select star from database name dot table name. When we give star, star gives me all the data, all the columns from the table. If I give only one column instead of this star, those respective column will be displayed. So this is to check the data from the table. Okay, let me run it. See, I just got the column names because I don't have any data available. Okay, Jonathan, tell me. Now my table is empty. I want to add some data. What I have to do? What I have to do? My table is empty. Ben, Jonathan, Rejwan, any one of you tell me.
Insert into.
Yeah, we have to use the insert query. Okay, so here we are doing some steps. Let me write down those. What we did so far? First, we created a database. Second, create a table. Inserting data to the table. Next, update the data. Delete the data. Each time for each these operation, we also view the data. For viewing the data, we have the select query. Okay. Now let me just insert. I have to use the insert query. For insert, we use insert into. We have to use insert into, then table name. Insert into table name. We have to give the values directly. This is the insert query. And here we have to give the column. For ID, we don't need any apostrophe. So the query is insert into table name and then values. Okay, you just tell me the values. For student name, it is of string type. So I have to add one student name. So let me just give Sagar and ID is 4556 something anything and age is again int. Age is 25. So will this insert me the values to the table or not? Shall I execute this query, insert query? You just need to remember the queries or you can get it from Google. Let me execute it. My query successfully executed, but I can't see any results. For viewing the results, we use select query. Now I have inserted one row successfully, but I want to see whether my data has been successfully inserted or not. Let me just run it. See I got the values here. Yes or no? Are you following? What if I want to insert 4 more columns? I have inserted single column. Let me insert 4 more. I can do like this. I can do comma. How many rows you want to insert? Those many you can give. So otherwise, let me do one by one. Values. Here the next student name is Anup and ID something and age. I want to add one more row. So I just give comma. Then the bracket start. Again one more row. PK and this ID. Okay, let me just give comma and one more row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me modify the values. Elaine. That's okay, I just guessed your age. If I'm giving more age, please don't feel offended. Okay. And PR. Okay, this is fine. This is my last row, so I'm giving semicolons. Hello. This is to add the multiple, insert the multiple rows. I'm just executing it. For single, what did we use? For single, we just use this one. And here we gave Sagar. We gave Okay. For adding multiple rows, we are using this one. I am going to execute it. And it got executed successfully. For viewing the results here, I have to run this query. Oh, it was not inserted. I think I did not execute this query. Let me execute again. Okay, now let me run this one. See, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am able to successfully insert 5 rows. Is it clear? Are you following? Okay, now creating table is done, inserting data is done. Now I want to update. Okay, tell me, Sagar, Anu, PK, Alan, PR. Is there anyone whose age is wrong? I gave it wrongly. I want to correct it. Is there anyone like that? Okay, PK said he's only 22 years, so I made him 4 years older, so I want to correct it. I have added wrong database entry. In which situation you want to update the database data? When you want to change something, when something is wrong with the existing data and I want to change it, correct? So for that we have to use the update query. Then we will give update. What you want to update? Update, you give the
Age.
name. Yeah, update student age, right? Update student age. Let me just check the update query. No, I have it up. Okay, update table name, set this one. Yeah, update table name. Who is that? Somebody confused me. Okay, update table name. We have to set the student name, student age equal to 23, where student name is PK, right? I'm just informing here that whoever the student has the name PK, set his age to 23. It's very clear. Update this table. Set student age to 23, where the student name is PK. So it's very straightforward. Don't you feel it is simple? I'm just informing the workbench that update this table, set the age to this number, where the name equal to PK. Somebody is talking about the duplicates. What if the name has duplicate? That's why we have the primary key concept. For now, we don't have the duplicate values, but we will have one column unique for each and every table. We will make one column as a primary key, which will help us to uniquely identify that particular row. Is it clear with you? We are going to discuss that later because it will be very confusing for the people who are totally new to the database. Your question is very nice. We also have the solution for it. Okay. So let me run this query. After running this query, I will again run the select query for viewing the results. Now you have to observe here PK's age is 26. After running this query, it is going to change it to 23. So let me just run it. Now if I want to see the results again, let me click. CPK got changed to 23 now. We are able to successfully update it. Is it clear? Okay, what if I want to delete? I want to delete someone from here. Let me delete Alan because he's older than everyone. He is not able to adjust. Let me delete him. So delete table name. Okay. Delete table name where? Yeah, you have to give something. Where student age equal to 27. So whoever whose age is 27, I am going to delete that person. Delete from something is wrong with the syntax. Yeah, delete. I have to give from delete from this table name where the student age is 27. See, after executing this query, Alan won't be visible. Let me just, that row, entire row will be deleted. Now I want to view the results. So can you see we got only 4 rows. So these are the basic queries of CRUD operations. Is it clear? Now I want to write a Java program and I want to connect with this table, this database and student table. If I want to see the student table information, I can simply write select star from database name and student name. But now my requirement, I have to view this information from my Java program. I want to display this information from the browser. Can I do that? What are the steps? Can you tell me the steps, please? Now my question, I want to print student table information on the web page, nothing but on the browser. So what are all for achieving this, what are all the steps I have to do? Somebody please tell me. First I have to create a dynamic web project, right? First create a dynamic web project. And what's the next step? Yeah, print writer object, but that print writer object will be inside the servlet, right? Write a servlet. In their servlet, I have to establish the database connection. I have to write the respective code and I have to add the jar to this project or not. And what is the next step? Add the jar to this project. Then write the database related code. Then print the results on the console. So shall we do this step by step? Shall we go ahead and do this? Okay. Let me create a project. So here you have to be comfortable with multiple things. For example, let me create a paint screen. Okay. See, for example, this is my database. This is where I have all my programs. And this is my Java program. Here, I will write a code to connect with the database. My code establishes the connection with the database and the database gives me data back. So there are mainly 2 steps. First step, database code, and second step, it gives the data. Write the connection code. The connection code will be of multiple lines we have to write, and it involves few steps again. And this gives data back. So my program is connecting with the database, and I got the database data, but the data is huge. I want to print the data. How can I print the data? A table can contain hundreds of lines, right? A table can contain hundreds of lines. So when you get the data back, you have to save it in a set. You have to save it in a result set. Save the data to this and iterate over it and print the data. Okay? You'll understand this. You will see result set slowly. And also when you are connecting with the data, when you are connecting with the database, you have to do multiple things. See, connecting with database includes loading the driver, making the connection, providing database details, and setting the query and executing the query. These are all the list of steps. Why I have to load the driver? Because when you want to when you want to connect with the database, you need a driver for making the connection. Okay. And why you want to make the connection? Because you actually want to connect with the database. Okay. For example, on the first day of the class, we have installed JDK, JRE, Eclipse. Why? If I ask you why, what you will tell? Why are we doing so many things? Because we want to make our program work and we are actually working on the programs and we need certain prerequisites to run the program. Correct? In the same way, if you want to connect with the database, to perform some operations with the database, you have to follow certain steps. And what is the need for providing the database details? Because you may have any number of databases on your machine. So you have to inform your Java program which database you want to connect. You can have MongoDB or you can have Oracle or you can have Hibernate, SQL or anything. Here we are trying to connect with SQL. When you give the database details, then only you will understand that your program will understand that it has to connect with the respective database. Okay, but why we are setting the query? We are setting the query because we are making the connection. What is the next step after connecting with the database? I want to perform some operation, right? And what assignment I told you? I want to print student table details on the browser. That means I want to fetch the data from student table. So for fetching the data, I need to write the select query or not. That's what we are writing it here. And when you set the query, you have to execute it. When you execute it, then only you will get the results back. Are you following? Okay. I don't know whether you are focusing too much. That's why not replying, or you are sleeping. Either you are sleeping or you are focusing too much. Okay. If you are not sleeping, then it's great. Usually when I attend classes now, I feel very sleepy. But when I become teacher, I am very strict. I'm a lazy student, but I'm very strict teacher. My husband always teases me, you are being a student and you are very lazy, but when it comes to your students, you are very strict. You take tests every Monday. Because that's nice, na? Like if I put the test, I'm not the one who is taking tests. That's why I always suggest putting the test. Because I don't need to do anything. Okay. Anyhow, jokes apart, you will also learn with the test. So let me write a create a dynamic web project. Dynamic web project. And yeah, I also have work, but compared to you, I have less work. Correcting the papers is easier than taking the test, right? Being a teacher always easy. You will get salary also. That's nice. Okay, so let me create a dynamic web project. What is the purpose of? Okay, let me share this. Okay, so I am going to create a dynamic web project. Dynamic web project. So what is the purpose of creating this project? What I want to do? There is a purpose. Can you please go through this thing? The purpose of creating this project is I want to connect with the database and I want to print table information from the database. Table information is saved in the database. I want to fetch the data from the database and I want to print that information on the browser. That is the purpose. So can you tell me one beautiful name for my dynamic web project? Give me some meaningful name. We are going to deal with the student table. So you just give me some meaningful name. You have to be quick.
Sarika, I can't find the dynamic web project. Where did you get it?
Can you please go to File, New, Dynamic Web Project? Are you able to see now?
Yeah, but I don't have the dynamic web project. I don't know why.
Okay, because maybe the reason is your Eclipse. Maybe you have downloaded the basic Eclipse. If you just give a try, can you click on Other, File, New, and click on Other, and then type Dynamic.
Thank you. Got it.
See now?
Yeah, I got it now. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thank you. If even after typing, if you are still not able to see, that means you have the very basic version of Eclipse installed. You have to install the enterprise version. Okay. So my project name is My Student Information Project. My Student Information Project. Okay, these things we know already. We are very much comfortable creating a dynamic web project. I don't need the web.xml for this moment. I'm not generating it. Let's concentrate completely on how to connect with the database. Then we can come back here. So now I created a project. What's my next step? I want to connect with the database table. So for connecting, I need to write the database code. But where I have to write the database code? In which file? No idea. Of course, it is servlet. Okay, so let me create a servlet. Let me create my package is com.qubit. My student servlet. My student details. Anything, you can give me anything. So I don't have JSP or anything here. Everything else we will develop later. First, I want to show you the basic thing. Then we will go on creating the dynamic, full-fledged project with the database. Okay, so this is my URL mapping. Let me just edit it. Let me just give student details. It can be anything. Let me just click on next and let me just give to get. I successfully created the servlet. So here I want to write the database code. This is a very simple servlet. Even if I execute it, nothing happens because I don't have any code in it. I'm going to write the basic code. So from this program, I'm going to connect with the database. So I have to inform the Tomcat. Also, I have to inform the servlet that I want to connect with the database. So for connecting, I have to give the connection related stuff or not. You just have to give 2 lines, only 2 lines. You don't worry about it. Okay, let me just show you those 2 lines. I think I have it here. We just need to write 2 lines of code. This is those 2 lines of code. Loading the connection driver, and these 2 lines of code you have to write. Okay, and it has to be under, and this 2 lines of code has to be inside try and catch. Why? What's the reason? Why can't I write it without try catch? Okay, somebody pinged some answer. Why can't I write it without try catch? Yeah, because we are connecting. You are trying to connect with the database. For some reason, you are not able to connect. There are huge chances that your code will not be executed. There are huge chances that your connection will not establish. So in that situation, somebody should be there to catch the exception to avoid the abnormal flow of the execution. You are trying to connect with the database. You are not able to do. So your exception will be thrown. It will be caught in the catch block, and then the remaining code gets executed as usual. So it's very important to put your connection code inside the try catch. So let me remove the try catch first, and let me show you these 2 lines. So I told you these are the 2 lines. These are the connection related stuff you want to give you have to give for connecting with the database. This is for MySQL. This is the URL. This is the loading driver. We say we are loading the driver here. Loading the driver. For loading the driver, you have to give the database name. If it is Oracle, it will be different. For MySQL, this is the line. And what I'm doing here, I'm creating a connection. For creating the connection, I have to provide my database details, username, password. Are you following? This is the port number for our database, and our database is located locally. So we will give this URL, and this is the database name. But my database name is not CubicDB. Let me change it. My database name is Bash3 database. So I am changing the database name to Bash3 database. This is my username and this is my password. You have to give your password. So you just need to write these 2 lines. Let me copy it here. Can you see my screen? I think you can see my screen. Okay. Here you have to give the password. So loading the driver is the first step. Is this the first step or not? This is the first step. And this is the second one, establishing the connection, right? See, please don't tell me this is tough. This is very easy. This is the first step and this is the second one. This is the second step. And what's the third step? I have to provide the database details. I already provided. This is my username. This is my password and this is the database name. This is database name and this is username. This is the password name. Password. You have to give the values correctly. These are the respective values. Everything else would remain same. You have to change only this. Okay. Let me put these inside the try catch. Try. And let's write catch here. Here we declare exception. E. Usually we get the SQL exception stuff. Any questions still here? Any questions? Okay. So using these 2 lines, I am establishing the connection. What's next? Now with this line, my connection is successful. I am able to connect with the database. What I have to do next? What is the purpose of writing this program? I want to fetch the data from student table, right? So I will make use of this connection object. So what I can write? Let's see. This con can be anything, even if you give connection or con or C, this is just a variable. This will have the connection object with it. We need connection object for executing the queries. See, you can do so many things here. We have to create the statement. Okay, now my question, I have to run which query here? My purpose is I want to fetch data from student table and display the data on the browser, correct? So now which query I have to use? We are using the queries in the MySQL workbench. We have to use the queries here also. You have to be really quick. Which query I have to use? Okay, only one person is replying me. For fetching the data, you always have to use the select query. And I want to fetch all the data, so I can use the select star from. Okay, so now I want to write the query. Select star from, what is the database name? Database name. And what's the table name? You should know these details. Student table name is student. It's the same query. Okay. But after executing this query, I want to save the result. This query will give me some results or not. If I run the select query, it gives me results or not. What about the insert query? If I run the insert query, will it give me the results back? Insert query won't give you any results. Insert query simply inserts the values. Select query gives you results back. So when I execute this query, I will get some results back, right? So I have to write, I have to make use of the connection object. So let me show you something like this. So I have to write the prepared statement. Prepared statement or statement. We have two interfaces available again in database, statement and prepared statement. Both are for executing your queries. You have this query with you, but who will execute the query? You need either statement or prepared statement to execute the query. Prepared statement is little advanced version, so we use prepared instead of the statement. So we have the connection object ready with us, so we will use the connection object dot prepared statement, and here we will provide this SQL. I know it will be a little confusing, just do it 2-3 times, you will understand. I have to give this inside the double quotes. Okay, so I'm just informing here that I have the connection object, and using this prepared statement, I want to execute this query. And see, so if I want to execute this query, but I have to save it here in a prepared statement variable like this. So let me just create it here. Prepared statement. PS. Let me just import it. Is something is wrong here? Yeah, something was, so spelling was wrong. Okay, I have to import. I have successfully imported. So I am using prepared statement to execute the query. So with this line, is it done? My query will be executed? Yes or no? If I execute this line, my query will be executed or not? It's not executed yet. We have to execute now. PS dot execute. Now it will be executed. Okay, so we can use either execute or either execute update. What is the difference between execute and execute update? The difference is, if you give execute, only this query will be executed, nothing will be updated from the DBN. Because when you fire the select query, you are fetching the information. You are not updating anything from the database end. Are you updating? You are not. But what about you give the insert query? If you give insert, you are actually adding some data. Correct? Are you following? If you give insert query, then you have to give the execute update because you are actually updating some data from the database end. As we are using select, update would be, execute would be fine. Okay. So now my data is executed. I will get the result back or not. So with this line of code, I will get the results back or not. That result, I want to save it inside a result set. Result set rs. I just want to import it. So now my query will be executed. And I will get the result back. Just a minute. I will also don't remember this syntax. I will simply copy paste from Google. Okay, I have to give the execute query. Sorry, I have to give execute query. I have to give execute query. This returns me the results in the result set format. So I am executing the query and I am getting the results back inside my result set. So my RS contains all the results from the table or not? Okay. So now I want to print all the values. How can I print it? I have to use any loop. Do I have to use any loop for printing the information? How many rows of data I have inside the student table? I have 4 rows. For each and every row, I have to print each and every element. So can I use while loop here? So you can use multiple loops. You can see here in the servlet, they are using the while loop. If this result set has some element, then enter the loop, print the element details. If rs, this is boolean. If this becomes true, then only it will enter to the block. Okay. If this is true, then we want to print. What is the first field? First field is student name, student ID, student age. So student name is string. I want to save inside the variable because I want to print them. Okay. rs.get string. I have next is int sid rs.get int 2. Same thing for the third element. For each and every row, I want to take the 3 elements. I want to print them. So here I will write the print writer object out.println. Either I can write out.println or I can write. Let me print it here first. Let me copy it from here. This is just a print writer, we know. Okay, out.println age. Okay, so let me say student name equal to string. You are understanding what I'm doing here? I'm just going through each and every row, then I'm printing the values. Student age, ID. Who is totally confused? I want to see if somebody is totally confused. Oh, you are confused. It's okay. We'll do it anyhow. You'll understand it. I'm just printing the information. You will understand it. So did I miss anything here? I haven't added the jar yet. So shall I add the jar? Otherwise it will not work. Where is this is my project. Shall I add the jar? Right click, project. Where is the build path? Build path, libraries, add external jars, and MySQL jar, MySQL connector jar. Apply and close. So my server is started. Shall I run this program? This is for the connection. This is for executing the query. This is for printing the information. This is completely for printing the information. Executing query is different from the Eclipse and from the workbench. Workbench we execute directly here, and from Eclipse we have to do all this stuff. Shall I run the program? Okay, let me right click, run as, run on the server. Next, finish. Oh, something is wrong. Let me check. Where is my server? It is started. Okay, no problem. Let me comment these lines. Database name, student name, everything looks good. Let me run it again. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me comment these lines. From here, from here, and let me want to see whether the servlet is good or not. Why it is giving me error again? Okay, let me comment from try. Let me go step by step. Okay, let me just print hello. Let's see. Out.println. No. Let me run it. Okay, let me, something wrong with my server. Let me remove all of them. Okay, I have removed. Let me stop. Stopped. Let me start. Okay, started. Started. Let me run this program now. Do I have any errors? Yes, I have an error. And okay, I need to insert, I think, one closing brace. You mean, Ashma, you mean the jar? You have to import, you have to add the jar to your build path. Okay, now let me run it. I don't have any code. I have just a simple print write out statement. Run on the server. Still it is not working. Something is wrong with my servlet. Okay, let me create another. Let me write another servlet quickly. Example servlet. Okay, am I creating a class? Let me create a servlet. Anyone doing along with me the same thing? Few people, they also try the things, right? Okay, for anyone, is it working? There is something wrong with my servlet. Nothing wrong with my code, but with my servlet, something is wrong. I got the response, but in blank. Okay, I will check why it is blank. Arey, what's wrong with my projects? I don't know why they are not working. Okay, can somebody share their screen? Bashwar, please. Share me your screen. Let me stop sharing. Okay, I can see your screen. 1 second. Class dot for name. Con.mysql you have to give. Why you give building blocks? Line number 24. Com.mysql. Please change it to MySQL. Okay, just a minute. JDBC MySQL. So your database name is building blocks? Java is a case sensitive language. You have to give it properly. You just check the spellings also. Capital letter, small letter, all those stuff. We cannot see your workbench. We can only see your Eclipse. And we cannot hear you. So you check your username and password are correct. Can you please share your workbench? We cannot see that.
Yes, just a second. Sorry, Kat.
Yeah. Just a minute.
Can you see my screen? Sorry, Kat, can you see my screen? Sorry, Kat.
This is on mute. We cannot see your screen.
Okay, just a second. So how do I say everything?
Yeah, show me. We can see your screen. Can you show me your Eclipse?
Okay,
Eclipse.
just a second.
Yeah, I can see your Eclipse. Just a minute. So everything is right? Your database name, username, password.
Yes.
So your table name is child. Select
Yes.
start from table name, execute query, rs.next. It is blank because you are not printing it. You will get the data
Okay.
only when you print it. So
Okay.
you just write the print writer on the top.
Before here or
Yes,
here?
yes, that's fine. At
Yeah.
line number
Okay.
22 is fine. Can you please make the
Okay.
font bigger?
Yeah. Just a second. Is that okay?
Now it is good. Print writer equal to response dot get writer. Okay. Yeah. Give the semicolon next to the bracket and import print writer. Now at line number 32, you have to print it.
Okay.
Yes, enter. pw dot. No, you can just use pw dot. Println. Okay. Here you give. What is fn and ln? Fn is a child name.
That's the first name. Yes.
Okay, just give in the quotes. First name is fn.
Okay.
Then it will be more clear. Give in the quotes.
Okay.
First name is close. Yeah. Plus. Yeah. Then again plus. Last name is ln. Yeah, better. Give ln.
Can I do that?
I think anyhow we are using println, so it
Oh
should
yes.
print in the next line. So give ln. Okay,
Yes,
give it.
that's right.
That's fine.
Okay.
In place of in line number 35, you have to give ln instead of fn.
Yeah. Is that right or?
That's right. But in place of fn, you have to give ln in the second line.
Oh yes, that's correct. Sorry.
Yeah, save it. Now you are fetching the information. Also, you are printing it. Now run it, please.
Okay.
Now you should get the data on the console. Is it blank again?
Yeah, it's still blank.
Just a minute. Project and get student database. Can you go to your project again?
Yes. So actually, I just added an extra class for the same project that we were working on last time.
That's fine, but whatever you are executing, that should work. Okay, can you show me your MySQL workbench once?
Yes.
Share it. Share the screen.
Okay. Can you see it?
Just a minute. Yeah, 1 minute. Building blocks and select start from building blocks dot. Just run it. You don't have, do you have data? You have only,
Yeah, I just have one row.
you have any other columns with only 2 fields instead of so many? Because when you give select star, you will get lot of data,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But it should work. You have any other table with only 2 fields?
No, I do not actually.
Okay, 1 second. Can you please quickly create one? I will give you the code. You can get the code from chart window. You just change the database name.
Okay.
I just give you the query chart window. Chart window.
Just a second.
Meeting chart window.
Yeah, I got it. Just a second. Mhm. Mhm. So can I just put 3 values in here?
Yeah.
Mhm. So this is for creating the table. Also, we are trying to create a table, new table.
Yes, I just gave you for creating the table.
Okay. So we can call this enroll main table. So first
Yeah,
name.
just run it. Okay, you are creating the table. Again, another table. Okay, make
Yeah.
it quickly. Also insert some data. Wait.
Okay.
Okay, table is created. Now insert data to the table.
Yeah. Let me create it. Just a. Okay. So I can create enrollment. So in Ram, the last name is listener. Phone number 111222333. Okay. So then I can go see MRV, 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 Sam, Eddie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. John Doe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mac Johnson 444. So we can give this some icon here, and I can run this, right? What's the issue here?
Yeah.
Insert into. What am I doing now? Insert into.
Insert into table name values you have to give. After enrollment, type values.
Yeah. Should be good. Run this. So I can do select star from me. Okay, enrollment. Run.
Okay, for anybody else, is it working? I have some issue with my Eclipse, so it was working in the morning, suddenly something happened. Okay, I think it's good. Can you please select start from building blocks dot enrollment?
No, it didn't go through, Sarika. It says insert into building blocks.
Okay,
Incorrect
one second.
integer
Can you
value.
please, 1 minute, everything in the same line, it's really confusing. Can you please press enter after the values? Insert
Yes.
into query. Press enter after
Actually, I
the
can do.
values.
Okay.
Just press enter. Okay, just a minute. Insert into table name.
No, this is what it should be. Var.
Where is the opening bracket? First name, last name, and phone number. Cancel it.
Now it should
Okay,
work.
can you please run it now? Run it. Insert into error code incorrect integer value for Krishna. Okay, is it more than 10 numbers, the first phone number?
Okay. So last name actually we gave
Can
as an
you,
integer. That's why it's not working. Just a
okay.
second. Sorry, guys. Just a second. I got this.
So, okay, is there anyone it is working apart from Bashwar? Somebody was also trying that. I think Sarita was trying. Okay, Sarita, can you please share your screen? Bashwar, you try this one. Let me check Sarita.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Give me
Yeah,
a
please
second.
share me your screen.
Yes.
Bashwar, you can delete the table. You can add it later and try. Okay.
All right.
Stop sharing, Bashwar. Yes, Sarita, please share your screen. Yeah. So what's the issue? Can you close the import statements? Just minimize it. Scroll little down. Let me see your code. Do you have errors anywhere? So let's start from best database dot student best database and the password. Okay. Can you go to your database once? MySQL Workbench. Share that screen. Yeah, maximize it. We cannot see it. Okay, just a minute. Best database and student. So S is small, right? In student. Okay, looks good. You have the duplicate entry. Okay, anyhow, no problem. Can you go to your Eclipse again? Okay, maximize the console. Let me see what error you are getting. Double click on console. It will be maximized. Scroll little up. A little down. You have to stop where the error has showing its information. Class not found. Okay, you have seems you haven't added your jar. Can you right click on your project? Right click on your project. Properties. Build path. Libraries. See, your jar is not added. Can you please? You are not able to add it. Is this your Mac or Windows?
It's Windows, and when I try to add it, this is what I get.
It is not. Can you please click on the module path?
Okay.
Module path. No,
Mm-hmm.
click on it. Module path, not the arrow. Click on the module. Now you click on add external jars.
Okay.
Now you select the jar location.
Okay.
Up, yeah. Double click. Yeah, select the first one. Click open. Apply and close. Okay. Now you run your program. Everybody following, right? So now you please run your program. Click next. Click finish. Okay, restart the server. Share your screen with them. Is it coming?
It's blank.
It's blank.
Yeah.
Okay, you do one thing. Instead of H7, give the sys out. Go to your Eclipse again. Instead
Sorry,
of
say that again, please.
cw.println, you give the sys out. System.out.println and the same thing. Yeah. Okay, now you please run it and let's check the connection. Finish. Maximize your, go to your console.
It is still blank. I can't see anything.
Go to console, not this
Console.
browser.
Okay.
Maximize the console.
Okay.
See, some error is there. Class not found. 1 minute. Class not, scroll little down. Go to your subject book, line number 25. Servlet. Line number 27. Chart for com.mysql jdbc driver. Why are you giving the java.sql connection? You just give the connection. Line number 28. Remove it. Connection. Can you go up? Open your import. Remove the line number 15. You have imported the wrong one. Now you import it. Import the java.sql. Again you imported the wrong one. Control Z. 1 second. Mouse over it. Import dot java.sql connection down. Java.sql. Yes, that one. Yeah. Can you please run now and check your console? Finish. Click finish. Maximize the console. Okay, wait. Scroll little up. See, this is what happens with the web application. You need lot of patience. Again, line number 28. Go to your servlet. Minimize the console. Where is the line number 28? Class dot happened. Can you please show me your imports? Imports. Hmm. 1 minute. SQL.function, SQL.manager. Okay, scroll little down. Last dot function. I don't know what everything looks good, but I think since the issue with the okay, we'll check it right now. Is there anyone who anyone got the data? Ashma, can you please share your screen? How can everyone got the same error? It should be working right. Ashma, can you please show?
Sarika, but I'm not working alongside, so I don't think it's gonna. Because I'm recording, so I work it later.
Yeah, you cannot share your screen, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, anyhow, we will check. I'll also show again tomorrow. It should work. If you have the jar and if you had the jar to your build path, it should work. You go through the recording on my phone. If it is working, okay. Otherwise, tomorrow I'll show you again. Is that okay with everyone? Okay, fine. Okay. So you can stop the recording. Right. Fine. So anyone need any help from me for the setup? Let me divide the people into groups. I think who all are need help on the setup. Let me give you some students so that they can help you people. I'm just trying in another workspace.